Hello, and welcome to Your Ships in My Hero Academia. A couple of months ago, I made a video about my personal ships in this anime, but apparently I just make ships to make them. So because you guys obviously have way better ships than I could ever possibly imagine, I'll just make a video talking about some of your favorites. And here we are. But before we begin, I must raise you one question. Why are there so many gay ships? I mean, I have no problem with them, but it feels like over half the comments are about guy x guy ships. Where do they come from? Is it women? But only 18% of my audience is women. Is it guys? Is it gays? Or is it the dreaded other? It just doesn't add up. Though in the end it's probably just the vocal minority that comments on my videos. But anyway, since almost every ship is either male x male or male x female, the way this video is going to work is that I'm going to go through each male character one by one and mention a few of their common ships, and then round it off with a few extras near the end. So with that said, please enjoy a very colourful set of ships. First up, the one and only Midoriya Izuku, also known as Deku. Now I've heard ships involving him and almost every other character in the anime, but here are some of the more popular ones. Deku x Ochako, the most vanilla and most likely ship to become canon. Their slight awkwardness and shy personalities make them extremely cute together. Deku and Tsuyu is another typical ship, and the two have shown to have some great chemistry together. Then there's the very popular Deku x Kacchan. While through most of their life Bakugo has bullied and hated Deku, leading to him being visibly afraid whenever Bakugo is around, I think eventually these two will reconcile as per regular shonen anime fashion. Bakugo doesn't really hate Deku, he's just jealous of his success, and once he learns to get over that, they'll be back to being great friends. Either that or you guys really enjoy shipping abusive relationships. Deku x Todoroki is another popular gay ship, with people mentioning Deku melting the ice in Todoroki's heart at the sports festival, even though it was actually Todoroki's father's flames that melted the ice, but that doesn't sound nearly as sweet. Todoroki also seems to be very interested in Deku's relationship with All Might, so that might lead to them becoming even closer in the future. And then there were a couple more Deku ships that were only mentioned once or twice. Deku x Shinso with their meeting at the tournament where Deku showed off his very gullible and naive side. Deku x Mina, Deku x Mei, Deku x Iida, who are basically best friends at this point and always hang around together at school. Deku x Uraraka x Iida, Deku x Bakugo x Todoroki, Deku x Bakugo x Todoroki x Kirishima x Iida x Uraraka x Tsuyu x... Holy shit, what are these crazy ships? Moving on though, let's talk about Bakugo Katsuki or Kacchan. Bakugo's brash personality lends itself to a lot of interesting ships. Bakugo x Bakugo, because that cocky and self-absorbed attitude means he'd probably only settle for the best, and in his mind, he is the best. Bakugo x Kirishima is one of the more popular ones, because apparently Kirishima is gay and they're like best bros in the manga or something. Their match in the tournament was also very hot, if you catch my drift. Because Bakugo's explosions are hot. Yeah. Anyway, there's also Bakugo x Tsuyu, Bakugo x Uraraka, Bakugo x Momo, and Bakugo x Mina, all of which sound very cute in theory because who doesn't want to see Bakugo all flustered and nervous around a girl? So far though, I haven't seen any hints towards any of them in the anime, so we'll just have to see what happens. Next up is Todoroki Shoto. The most popular ship besides the aforementioned Deku x Todoroki was definitely Todoroki x Momo. The two stoic, high-achieving students getting together sounds like a perfect match, and while I haven't seen them interact much in the anime so far, maybe it'll happen in the future. One viewer went to a whole nother level with some interdimensional shipping, putting Todoroki with Mami from Madoka Magica. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I don't think this ship will be lasting very long. But anyway, it's time for Tokoyami Fumikage. The most popular ship was him with Tsuyu, which I think is a good match because they're both very level-headed people, though I'm a little worried because I've heard that birds sometimes eat frogs. The only other ship I found was Tokoyami x Shoji, which I don't really have an opinion on. Iida Tenya has a couple of ships I haven't mentioned yet, including Iida x Uraraka, which probably comes from them being very good friends. Iida x Momo, a ship I kinda just made up on the spot, was mentioned approximately 1 time, which made me pretty happy. Then there's Iida with Mei, and with the recent tournament meeting I could definitely see it happen, especially since Mei's a massive troll and Iida is the type to get easily tricked, so they would form a very funny yet cute dynamic. Moving on, it's Mineta Minoru. Now this guy is probably the most controversial character in the entire anime. Like seriously, some people really hate this guy. Like really hate this guy. As for his ships, Mineta x Momo is the most popular, which would definitely be a happy ending for our little perv. There have been a lot of moments between the two, but most of them have involved Momo being utterly disgusted at Mineta. That's why I still stand by Mineta x Tsuyu, because they always seem to be together, even in the sports festival. And now for some of the more obscure characters. Aoyama x Mina because they are both easily forgotten, and Shoji x Mina for the same reason. Kirishima x Tetsutetsu because they are practically the same person, just made of different materials. And of course, Ojiro x Toru and Kaminari x Jiro because they are both heavily hinted at throughout the anime. And as we are nearing the end of this seemingly never-ending list, I have for you a ship that I hadn't even considered and yet seems so painfully obvious. All Might x Deku's mom. All Might already acts like Deku's dad and provides a great fatherly figure to look up to. Deku's mom seems sort of lonely at home and she has definitely let herself go in recent years. All Might also lets himself go in the opposite direction, so they would be perfect for each other. And finally we get to the juicy Yuri. Wait, what do you mean the only Yuri is Tsuyu x Uraraka? Ah well, while I still have no idea why Yuri ships are so unpopular, I can say that Tsuyu x Uraraka is, well, I mean, it is what it is. Nothing too special about it, just two of the best girls put together in a ship. But now we have the extras. Self-shipping or shipping yourself with one of the characters seems decently popular. Personally, I don't have the imagination to, well, imagine it, but for those that do, it's an interesting way of doing the whole waifu or husbando thing. There's even one person who creates their own character and ships themselves with every hot guy in the show. Now that's just, please, come on, at least leave some for the rest of us, you know? And of course, saving the best till last, we have the almighty Titanic, the most iconic and romantic ship ever. It's also dead, but don't mind the details. And there we have it, a list of some of the most and least popular ships by none other than you guys. I had a lot of fun reading about all the quirky combinations out there, and I'm sure there's a whole lot more I hadn't even mentioned. So, comment on any ships I missed, as well as your favorites from the ones above. Thanks for watching and have a relatively okay day. Bye bye.